Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Friday, May 9th. Happy Friday, everyone. 6:22 right now. We have market opening up in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, everything looks good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. They're sent out and we are good to go. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Go down to the 4 hour. Also the 1 hour. Down to the 30 minute. Down to the 15. Down to the 10 minute. And down to the 1 minute here. So you guys can see there's a big spike that happened earlier this morning at like 4 o'clock. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I know the Fed was speaking this morning, so I don't know if that's what caused it. I try to look through the news sources. Not really too much there that, I mean, aside from the tariff news, that would have caused a spike like that to happen. Today, there's not really much news happening. It's just a lot of Fed speakers having their presentations today. So, I mean, we'll kind of see what happens here when market opens up. The ATR is currently at 9 right now, so it's not super high, but we'll see what happens here when market opens up. So, all right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, May 9th. Happy Friday, everyone. 6:26 right now. We have market opening up in about 4 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity below is right here at 41,496. Closest level above is at 41,572. This level right here just got hit, so I'll take that off. And yeah, from here, we're just going to kind of wait to see what happens next. There's not really too much here going on, so the volatility is a little slower than usual. Usually it's around like 12 ATR, but that's because there's not really much news happening. So we'll see if there's any catalyst today aside from the Fed speaking. Otherwise, we'll kind of just have to play by ear. So, all right. Got here. Turn this off for now. So let's take a look at the overall trend. Overall trend over here, you can see price is above the pivots. Pivots are angling up. Trend meter is green here on the higher time frame. So on the 4-hour, 1-hour, and 30-minute time frame, price is all bullish. 10-minute time frame bullish, 5-minute bullish, 1 minute is flipping to bearish. So overall, everything here looks bullish for the most part. The only time frame here that's currently bearish or switching bearish is the 1-minute time frame. Breakout for today is looking like it's going to be a possible sell. We'll see if a buy signal comes up here anytime soon, but other than that, it looks like it's possibly going to be a sell for today. We got the sessions right here, so if price does come down, may come down, bounce off the sessions right there. If price comes up, might come up, grab liquidity right here, possibly fake out and come back down from there. So we'll see what happens in a few. Anyways, looking over here at the market profile. So it's currently sitting here at the value high on the 1 minute. 30-minute over here looks like it might be coming down to retest the value high and come back up. 1 hour, same thing. Looks like price might be coming down here to test the value high and bounce back up. Looking over here at the volume profile. Currently at the value high as well. Here on the clean chart, price is currently coming below, might come back down here, test the whole number, 41,500. Bounce up from there. And for the support resistance, a couple more zones up here, not a lot, but all right, we'll see what happens here. So we got market opening up shortly in about 5 seconds. Direction for the breakout today is going to be a sell. Price is currently at the sessions. You might want to be careful because it might bounce off it just like it did right there. So it did pretty much what we anticipated. The price is probably going to come down, bounce off the sessions right there, and that's exactly what happened. So let me mark up opening price. Opening price is going to be right at the session, so that's a good thing. We have red flags right next to each other. That's ideally what we prefer. ATR is currently at 15. I'm going to go and just change this to 7 for right now. We'll kind of see what happens here. So, all right, guys, market is now open. Overall direction of trend is bullish right now. So 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 5 minutes bullish. 1 minute here is neutral. So for the most part, the overall trend here is to the upside. So overall direction of price or overall bias might be for buys today. We'll see. Doesn't have to be for buys, but looking at the trend, that's kind of what it's looking at. Price might come down a little bit, but other than that, price may shift back to the upside. So it's pretty much doing what I mentioned earlier. So if you were here before the market opened, I mentioned price is probably to come down and retest the sessions right here, bounce off. That's exactly what happened right there. On the market profile, I said price is probably going to come back down to the value high here and bounce off. That's basically what happened. Price faked out, push right back above. 30-minute rejection off the value high, and 1 hour rejection right here off the value high, just like we anticipated. So all this stuff's kind of playing out like we anticipated pre-market. We did some analysis here to kind of see what the scenarios would be. I mean, it's just a matter of time until we have some sort of setup here that will come up. So we don't have it here yet, but see what happens in a few. Let's see. Christian said there's news at 6:15, 6:45, 8:30, and 10. I don't think there's news today, but the Fed is speaking. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah, because we have the Fed speaking today. It's not really news. It's just they're going to be speaking. Let me check forex factor. Maybe I'm missing something here. Yeah, it's just Fed speakers today. Yeah, so there's not really any actual news. It's just Fed speakers are going to be speaking all throughout the day. So you could expect some volatility spikes, if depends if they say something. Next one's going to be at 7:30. Kugler might still be speaking, but the next one is going to be Goolsby at 7 o'clock. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, it's kind of weird that there's no news on on a Friday. You have the Fed speaking, but no like actual news events, economic news. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes though, so that's one thing that I'll say. Um, there's a ton of stuff that's happening behind the scenes. So see if I can pull it up for you guys here. Yeah. So there's there's five big things. Trump administration tariffs, they're going to be talking about cuts this weekend with China. China exports to US basically went down for retail sales. Um, German DAX is the first major European stock index to surpass its March high record. So like basically the indexes are doing well in Germany. Trump is pushing lawmakers to raise taxes on the wealthy. It's another big thing. And then another company here, Panasonic, plans to cut 10,000 jobs. So there's a lot of stuff happening here behind the scenes. And then there's also stuff with the Ukraine war. So there's just a lot of like disconnect. Like Trump said that he's pushing for a ceasefire, while VP, what's his name, Vance, he's basically saying that we don't want to deal with the ceasefire. We don't want to help out Ukraine. So it's kind of like there's a lot of stuff that's happening behind the scenes, like world things that are happening around the world that are affecting the market, not necessarily just one thing. So there's other stuff. Even though there's not news today happening, there's tariff news because I believe they're trying to cut a deal with the UK. That's what Trump spoke about yesterday, and then they have talks with China this weekend. So. But I don't know if they actually do have talks with China. Like Trump always says that they have talks with China and they're negotiating, but then China comes back and says that there's no talks happening. So it's there's little things like that that'll cause these volatility spikes in the market. Like right now, the volatility is kind of like pushing around the place. Liquidity right here just got hit. Um, there's no levels there, so there's not really a break and retest to look for unless you're looking for this specific level. But yeah, there's just like a lot of things that are kind of happening throughout the world that are still relevant, but they're just not on the calendar. And I'll try to pull up my Bloomberg whenever I can just to see whatever updates are going on. But there's just not really much here to look at. Let's take a look at CNBC. It's possibly a break and retest off this liquidity, but nothing there yet. We have a possible MPSV2 setting up right here for a buy. Candle closes green. It's not looking like we're going to get a green candle here, though. So we'll take a look and see how this candle here closes. Looking at this here, there's a confluence here on the 1-minute market profile, rejection off the value high. There's nothing really here on the 30. There's a rejection right there off the value high on the 1 hour. Nothing on the volume profile. Rejection right here off the clean chart. Rejection right here off the support. So this could actually be a pretty decent buy if this ends up closing green. It's just the price action here is not very consistent. This is what I'm like kind of worried about is at the last second it comes down and closes red. Like it might be green and then all of a sudden it pushes down at the last second. So like right here, it doesn't look like it's going to close green at the last second. It might push up. No green candle there, so there's no entry there for MPS V2. I mean, it would have been a pretty decent entry because we did have confluences here. Prices coming back down lower though, so maybe not. There's still opportunity here. If the candle does close green, I'll kind of see how this candle here ends up closing. I'll see how price action looks. We have a buy signal, retracement, confirmation of continuation right here. If the candle does close green, we have 30 seconds left on this candle. So I'm going to see how it ends up closing here. I don't want it to close too high. If it's too big, then it's going to be kind of tricky. But I think this one looks like it could be a possible good entry for a buy for MPSV2. I need to close somewhere like above here, though. So I'll be looking to take this here if it closes green. Now let's close in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Get into it. Right there. ETR is currently at 23. Let's mark where the 25 is at right here.
Order filled.
The line right there. My original TP stop loss is set at 40 right now. Still haven't adjusted it. If it goes down to the 30, I might just close it out, or I'm going to hold on to it for a little bit here. See where it's at. Stop me out. Fuck. All right. Well, unfortunately, got stopped out on that trade. It looked like it could have been a good one, but I mean, it is what it is. This is the type of market that we're currently in. Now it's a ranging market. So unfortunately, took a loss on that trade right there, guys. Yeah, these candles are they're kind of coming out of nowhere. These big candles that just pop up. Because it looked like it could have been a good setup. There was confluences there. Rejected right here off the value high. There's nothing on 30. Rejection right there off the 1 hour. Yeah, I mean, it's fair loss. Confluences were lined up. Everything here. It's just, we have these kind of just random candles spiking out of nowhere. Like this big red candle right here, I don't really have a reason for it to come down that heavy. Otherwise, I mean, the only thing I can see here is that it's creating a range. So unfortunately, it looks like I'm gonna have a red week this week. Fortunately, I'm gonna take a red week this week. Not the way I wanted to close the week out, but it's all good. It's just one of those weeks where I end up having having a loss, of course. So I'm gonna go and update my calendar real quick. Yeah, Sam took it. Looks like Shivam got it as well. I mean, it looked like a good setup, so it's all good. I didn't go against my rules. Everything was lined up there. Bullish move, and then we just have this big spike to the downside. I'm getting tired of this like ranging market here. It's you can see here I've marked up this range. Price pretty much respected this lower end of it. So it basically just established a range at that point. Price came up to this upper end. I was hoping it would break above it, possibly a break and retest of that, but ended up coming down. But you can see right here, it's rejecting off this lower end. So basically the market that we're kind of stuck in right now. There's a possible MPSV2 here for a sell. The only problem with this MPSV2 is that it's going to be right at the sessions. So if anybody's looking to take this, I'm not taking this. I'm following my game plan. Just one loss for the day, and I'm pretty much done. Yeah, Maria has same game plan as well. As long as you guys stick to your trading plan, I mean, you should have no problem, right? The losses are supposed to happen. I mean, you can't have a win streak every single day. This week I think I have like a net of one loss, I believe. So I'm gonna upload my positions and I'll see where I'm at with those. See if I can add my trades here. Let's see. Christian said, funny, when we don't take those first MPS V2s that showed up, they hit TP. Which one are you talking about, Christian? There's only one that came up today. There wasn't one over here. I mean, there's one pre-market, but this happened like way earlier. I was at 619, so I wouldn't have taken that trade there. Because there's only one that like this is the only one that came up. You might be talking about the one from yesterday. Oh yeah, talking about other sessions. Yeah, I was like, am I not seeing the entry here? But it's all good. So hopefully next week's gonna be a lot more directional. So again, there's the MPS V2 that's currently running right here for a sell. I decided, well, obviously I can take it because I'm at my threshold for the day. I only allow for one loss, guys. This prevents me from blowing my accounts because if I can just limit myself to one loss a day, um, then I don't end up revenge trading or over trading. That always becomes the case for a lot of people, right? For a lot of people, it's like when you start to revenge trade and over trade, that's where you start to run into issues, and that's where you start to blow accounts. So for me, I'm okay with having one loss. It was yeah, it wasn't super bad. So full TP on this one, go figure. The one that I don't take hits TP right there. So one loss, one win right here, guys. We'll keep looking for the next one if anything else here comes up. Yeah, exactly. I know. It's like the one the one time that we take the earlier MPS V2, it doesn't hit, but like every other time it comes up, it hits, right? We've been seeing these earlier MPS V2s come up and they all hit. Like the one yesterday, we had, I think, 4 back-to-back wins. Yeah, like yesterday, both of them hit right there, but we didn't take those. And the day before that, that one hit as well. We didn't take that one. But today, it's just, there's no catalyst in the market. Like there's a lot of movement here that's happening, but we don't really have anything that's causing the movement here. Price is kind of just flying all over the place because we don't have any actual news. Like the Fed's speaking here, but we can't follow what the Fed is actually saying because they're not live streamed like Trump. Like we can't see if they're saying good things or we can't see if they're saying bad things. Um, we kind of have to, we're kind of in the dark with that. So like you can take a trade in a certain direction. Um, but if price spikes the other way for whatever reason, you don't really have some sort of catalyst or some sort of confluence to like really point you in that direction. The buys here look good because all of the higher time frames are bullish, right? So that's like one of the reasons why I was more geared towards taking buys versus sells because the 4 hour here is bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 10 minute was bullish, 5 minute was bullish, and the 1 minute was the only one that was kind of flipping back and forth. So the buys here actually look good in a bigger perspective versus like the lower ones here. So I think, these sells here might be temporary, like price might come down a little bit, grab liquidity, and then probably come back up. But even so, there's a red flag right here, so I wouldn't have taken that trade for a sell, even if I had the opportunity to. Yeah, Sam says he's watching liquidity sweep. Nick mentioned I still consider myself a new trader, so my psychology gets kind of shot after a loss anyway. Yeah, and that's probably the best way to that's the best way to handle it, Nick. If your psychology gets messed up whenever you lose a trade, guys, it's better to just stop trading for that day. Because if you keep trading, the odds of you making a mistake or like taking a riskier trade is more likely than not. I see that happen with a lot of people, right? Um, for a lot of people's trading plans, they don't have like a trade limit. So what happens is they'll lose a trade and then they'll try to make it back, so they end up trading right away, and then they lose another trade, and they end up taking another trade, and they blow their account. I think that's probably the most common way of people blowing their accounts. It's like they don't know when to stop. For me, I already understand. Like once I have a loss, I know the market's probably not moving in my favor. Like for example, today, right? The market's kind of all over the place. It's creating these ranges, but it's also faking out outside the ranges. So for example, we have this range here. Looks like it's faking out down here. It's going to pull back into the range. But this is the type of market that we've been kind of dealing with for the past, I guess, a week or two now. It's basically been stuck in this range. Every time it pulls out, it goes out for a little bit, but then it pulls back into it. So for this week, we had, I think, 3 losses or 2 losses and 1 win. So I'm just closing out the week with a net 1.5 loss. So it's not like, it's not horrible for my account. I mean, I'm gonna have to make it back next week, but it's all good. I didn't take too many losses to really set me far back too much. I'm updating my calendar right now, guys, so I'll show you guys my stats in a few. It just takes forever when it uploads my my Apex accounts because I have so many. So I'm synchronizing my trades right now so I can kind of see where I'm at for the week. I like waiting till the end of the week to do it so I don't have to feel the pressure of like recouping the profits. I think overall for the month though, I should still be good. Let's see, Daniel said, I've been noticing that if we get a high-low momentum scalp on the signal before our MPSV2, likelihood of the trade hitting increases. Yeah, no, I noticed that too, Daniel, because we've been in this ranging market. So those high-low momentum scalps, those typically will indicate that, price is shifting the other way. And that's why, like, I do agree with what you've been seeing, the observation. So yeah, if you guys see something like that, like for example, what Daniel mentioned is like basically the sell signal here breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2, and then the MPS V2 comes up after, the odds of it hitting are likely. Like right here, we didn't have an MPS V2. Price did break and close above it, but there was no momentum signal breaking and closing past the pivots. So it was kind of just down the middle. Nick said, unfortunate, fast candle on that trade. 2 got more slippage than usual. Yeah, I got a little bit of slippage because I wasn't able to adjust it quick enough. And yeah, Shabam said, yeah, so it's a total of 3 losses and 1 win for this week, but because I've been taking smaller stop losses, for mine it doesn't count as a full loss. We're counting the losses, but for my actual P&L, it's less because I have it set to 40-40, but I've been moving it to 30-30 because of the ATR. That's why, like, for me, it's like if I had 3 losses this week, I technically saved on like 30 points. So that's like 1 full trade, right? So that's why for me, I only have like, I think 2 losses or maybe 1.5 because I've been going for a smaller target. I mean, not a smaller target, a smaller stop loss. I think for next week, I'm probably going to adjust to 30-30 TP stop loss though, because it seems like the ATR is not really going anywhere. So I'll probably make some adjustments to my ATM. Instead of having it at 14-14, I'll have it at, or 40-40, I'll have it at 30. Let me see if I can probably figure out what the number should be. So right now I'm doing, yeah. So if I did 30-30, 13. So I put those notes over down here. All right, there's no other entries here right now. Still waiting for buy signal. So if a buy signal comes up, we can look for that. We can confirm that retracement and then look for the continuation down. So I'll be giving you guys heads ups if any other entries come up. But right now, there's just nothing at the moment. All right, we got price pushing back up right here, guys. We'll see if this here gives a buy signal. If it gives a buy signal, that'll be a retracement. We can look for either reversal to the upside, or we can look for retracement and continuation down. So we got a buy signal right here. We got price pulling back into the range. So it's pretty much what I've been, telling you guys. This is the type of market that we're in right now, guys. Price respects the range here. So like whenever price is below, like for example, price came back below right here, it usually will fake out and pull back into the range. So the target area, whenever price pushes out of here, is usually going to be back in the middle. So if there's an MPSV2 that comes up here for a buy, I mean, it could be a good setup. But again, right here, it is touching the session, so it might be at a red flag. I mean, it kind of depends on where this candle ends up closing. So it doesn't look like we're in an MPSV2 here, guys. We had a buy signal, price pushed up. Now it's retracing. Unless we had a green candle here, that'll be the MPSV2, but it'll be right at the sessions right there. Let's see if my calendars are all updated. All right, let me see if I can move this over. So we have a possible MPS V2 setting up right here, guys. This candle, if it closes green, this is going to be MPS V2. It's currently at the session, so this is considered a red flag. However, there are reasons for price to push back into this area up here because it is pushing back into the range. So if anybody's looking to take this, I'd consider it a risky entry, but it makes sense where it's going. It's trying to push back into the range up here. So this candle is going to close in about 30 seconds. We'll see how this here ends up closing first. Once it closes, we'll see the let's see if there's any confluences here. So rejection right here off the point of control on the 1 minute, rejection off the point of control on the 30, rejection off the point of control on the 1 hour. Earlier rejection here off the point of control on the volume profile. Nothing on the clean chart. And support level right here, bouncing off the support down below. So here is an MPS V2. The problem with this here is that for one, it's at the sessions, and for two, the candle here was pretty big. Yeah, there's basically two big reasons why this trade would probably be avoided. For one, it's at the sessions, which is a red flag. Had to cut through it right there. This is usually where price manipulation tends to happen. You can see right here, price is being manipulated back down because price here is basically bouncing back and forth between the sessions. Possible fake out, pull back to the sessions here. That's just a possibility. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to happen, but a lot of times it does happen. And that's why I try not to trade around the sessions like that. The other thing is that the candle here was pretty big. So whenever the candle is big like that, price tends to retrace back to its halfway mark, which it did right here, and it'll possibly bounce up higher. Or if it doesn't bounce to the halfway mark, it usually retraces to the entire candle. So let it retrace the entire candle before coming back up higher. So there's reasons to take the trade, but there's more reasons not to take the trade. It's considered a red flag. It's just not in a good area. And yeah, I mean, there's a setup right here though. So this is an MPS V2 that's currently running. Daniel mentioned, yeah, there's a high-low momentum scalp confirmation on this one. The only problem again is that it needs to get away from the sessions, which it didn't. So that'd be considered a red flag right there. Hey, what's up, Steven? Steven, you just get here. So there's two entries that came up today, or three right now that are currently running. This one over here I took and I lost. This one over here I didn't take and it won. And this one over here is currently running in profit. So this is the third MPS V2 for the day. It's a little messy though, as you guys can see here. It's messy because of the red flag in the sessions, but it's still an entry nonetheless. Yeah, Sam, I just saw your analysis from the earlier trade. So like the trade up here earlier that came up, Sam, I was looking for it to grab liquidity up here, like you said. But yeah, it was basically a failed liquidity grab because I didn't see any liquidity around this area right here. That's why I was like okay with taking the buy earlier. There's no liquidity sitting around that area. So I was hoping it was going to push up here, and then if it did push up here, I was looking to maybe even kind of follow it a little bit. That's all good. It's just a weird market this week. I mean, these types of ranging markets, they're super unpredictable because like the thing is, we know price should be going up, right? Because we did our analysis here at pre-market. Like my bias was already for a buy. So like looking over here on the 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute, everything was bullish. It's just you get a lot of this manipulation during a range where price kind of goes back and forth and then it corrects back up. So this here is what I was expecting to happen earlier. And when you think about it, the liquidity up here hasn't been grabbed yet. So there's still opportunity for price to push to the upside. Volatility right here is a little low. It's currently at 20 ATR. It's just low for like this specific time. Yeah, so this thing looks like it might just go sideways for a bit. It's pretty much just stuck within the range. The thing is, the TP is within the range, so I do expect it to possibly push up and at least hit. Yeah, exactly. Sam said your trade earlier was perfect, bro. It's just a shit market. Yeah, the confluences were there. Everything was good. It was just we had that big candle that happened after, and there's no news today to really push price around. There's a couple of breaking news events that came out today for CNBC. Let's see. So retired Supreme Court Justice David Souter dies at 85. Right here it says Trump suggests cutting China tariff rate and still high 80% ahead of Switzerland talks. So this is breaking news about 37 minutes ago. I mean, this could have possibly affected the market a little bit. It says stocks rise as Trump hints that many trade deals are close. So it's a lot of this tariff stuff, guys. Like there's a lot of tariff stuff that's just causing price to kind of spike around. I don't think this stuff is from the Fed speaking. Like these random spikes in price, they're just manipulation in market because of the tariff news. Um, I mean, either way, like, the thing with this is that like this is a pretty big extension to the downside, and then a pretty big extension back to the upside right here. But like I was saying, it doesn't really matter which direction you're trading, and you can kind of get screwed in either direction. So I'm not in this position right here, guys. I'm just marked it up for you guys. There was a red flag here, and it's doing exactly what we anticipated. So right here, I'm gonna take this off so that you guys don't think I'm in the position. But see how price pulled back to the sessions right there? That's why we don't like to trade at the session. So for example, this entry came up at the sessions because price pushed above it. And I mentioned whenever price does this, it'll tend to pull back to the sessions there. So it's just a tricky market this week. We've had this happen a lot of times where price kind of just stays within the range and doesn't end up moving. And then all of a sudden you get a breakout to the downside or a breakout to the upside like this. I only took one trade today, which was this one. I took that loss and I just pretty much called it a day for myself. For me, my trading plan only allows for one loss. So it pretty much prevents me from blowing my account. So anyways, here are my stats for the month so far. So we took 3 losses this week, unfortunately, 3 losses and 1 win. So for the month so far, I'm still up slightly in profit. I'm up like 25,000 for May. I took a loss on Tuesday, took a loss on Wednesday, we took a win on Thursday, and then I took a loss today, unfortunately. So I'm down for the month, for the week. It's just, it's one of those weeks where I'm just down for the week. Hopefully next week we'll go back into a win streak like we did last month. So last month we kind of picked back up. You can see over here from April, we started to win, and we had one loss right there. And then we had a couple wins. And then this week's just one of those weeks where we're just having trouble because we're in a ranging market. So hopefully we have more direction next week once the tariff news from China comes in. And then we'll hopefully be able to have some green days next week and the following week and the following week after that to bring us back up into to consistent profits. Because right now it's just last month we had the tariff news that came out. This kind of destroyed us a little bit early in April. And then we had a win streak over here the following week, a win streak the week after that. And then last week we had a winning week. And then here we had just a losing week. You can see here, I don't really have very many red weeks. So the red weeks that do happen, unfortunately, it's all part of the game. If you stay to your consistency, you should be able to be fine. So for me, I only took one loss today. This could have been a lot worse, right? If I took more trades, this could have been a lot worse. But I'm only down this much for the week, and then for the year so far, I'm still up pretty decently. So here's my calendar basically from January 1st up until today. I'm still at 408,000 for the year so far. So price kind of I won a little bit, lost a little bit, won a little bit, lost a little bit, won a whole lot right here during March, and then April we lost a little bit, came back, recovered, and then right here we're having kind of a choppy month for April for May. So May we had some wins first week, some losses, a little more losses today. And then hopefully by next week, we'll be able to pull that back up. So I'm just sticking to my game plan, guys. Game plan is really just sticking to one loss per day. And that will prevent me from blowing my account. It's just really like, some days are just not going to be as good as others. And you got to control yourself. You got to have discipline and self-control that you don't go on a downward spiral. Because that's what happens with a lot of people. And, if you end up going on a downward spiral, it's going to be easy to blow your account. Yeah, Shivam said I'm calling it for today with that one loss, as I may get an itch to try to make it back. Plus, clear example of how long MPS is taking the one still running. Rather come back fresh next week, long game. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yeah, definitely, Shivam. Yeah, like Shivam said, it's if you start to get that itch where you feel like you need a revenge trade or overtrade or like if you feel like you need to make the profits back that you lost, it's probably best to just wrap it up for the day and for the week, because you can only do more harm to your account if you keep trading in this type of market. So like for example, the entry that just came up that was running right here, I don't know if it's still running. Let me check real quick. The thing is, these entries are running for so long. Same. Yeah, these entries are running for, like, this one over here would have ran for about 12 minutes now. So for our entry earlier, I'm kind of glad that that hit right away. Like, even though it hit stop loss, I'm glad that it hit right away because it just shows that we're not in the flat market right now. Market's moving, it's just not moving very directional. It's kind of just going back and forth. So you can see over here, our price kind of goes back down for a little bit and it pulls back into the range. This is where price is going to end up most of the time. So if price does push above this area, it'll maybe grab liquidity and then come straight back down. That's what I can see here. I don't really see it going anywhere. I think it's going to stay down this middle area for a bit, especially while the tariff talks are going on, unless there's some sort of breaking news. But yeah, anyways, here are my stats for the year so far, guys. Not horrible. I mean, not super duper great, but also not horrible. You guys can see all my losses right here, unfortunately, that I ate up today across my accounts. But for the most part, I'm still doing good for the year. So I'm still net positive. I just got to keep maintaining my my profits. So I don't end up blowing the account. That's going to be the key thing here, of course. If you guys do blow your account, there is a promo going on for Apex right now. So you guys probably saw me post it in the chat. It is 80% off. So I'll go and I'll just forward this again right here. Goes on until the 20th. If anybody's looking to do that. So yeah, Apex right now, 80% off, 1 day to pass, $50 reset. So if you guys need to, for whatever reason you guys blew your account, if you guys are over trading, revenge trading, etc., it's $50 to reset the account right now. Yeah, if you guys are interested in that. And it ends on the 20th, so you got some time. So I mean, if you guys want to take riskier trades, feel free. And you can possibly pass, if not, just reset it for a discounted rate. All right, yeah, Nikki's done for the day too. Looks like Bitcoin is climbing up right now. Let me check Bitcoin real quick. I have my Coinbase open. Yes, we're at 104. We're back in the hundreds, guys. Crazy. All right, Christian's done for the day, and Steven's done for the day as well. All right, guys, we'll see you guys next week. Yeah, it's still early, guys. It's 7:13. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I'll keep analyzing for you guys, but there's just nothing here for me to really, there's nothing here for me to take specifically. If you guys want to take this MPSV2, there's one setting up right here, right now. We have a sell signal, retracement, confirmation. I'll mark this up for you guys if it does end up coming up here. It's at a red flag touching the sessions again, so it's not exactly a clean entry. All right, so there goes the MPSV2 currently active right now. I mean, it's not really one I'd recommend taking either because it might just fake out around this area and pull back into the range. So you can see there's setups that are coming up, but there's a lot of red flags. It's like right at the sessions or the candle's too big or stuff like that. So again, yeah, this is the entry right now. It's currently running MPSV2 for a sell. I'm gonna take this off because I don't want you guys to think that I'm in the position. We'll check on it in a little bit, but I don't want you guys to have an idea that I'm in the position because I'm not. I'm pretty much done for the day. I took my loss earlier over here, and I'm pretty much wrapping it up for myself. Again, like I said, this is going to prevent me from blowing my account or for putting myself in a deeper hole than I should be. And I'm sure that's happened to a lot of you guys before, right? You guys take a loss and you want to make it back so quickly, you just end up taking some random trades and then you end up in a deeper hole. Because that's happened to me like so many times, guys. That's how I learned to stop taking more trades. Um, you got to learn from your mistakes, right? Because I'd rather have one loss for the day than have two losses or three losses. Because if I have two losses or three losses, then I'm in a deep hole. And then next week I got to make, 4 wins to make it back. At least for next week, I just need 2 wins to bring myself back into profit. I'm not really so super deep in the hole. And it's manageable, right? It's realistic. So again, that trade right there is running, but we'll follow it and I'll just kind of show you guys, where it's at when it starts running. So it's still running right now. This is for a 30-30. The ATR is currently at 24, so you might want to use something smaller if you're running it, maybe like a 25-25. But I will be adjusting I'll do that right now actually. So let me adjust my contract sizes here to 30-30 for next week. Adjusted mine there. Bitcoin looks like it's rallying pretty nicely. I'm honestly thinking about offloading my Bitcoin pretty soon just to get rid of it. And I'll probably buy in again if it dips, which it probably will over the weekend. All right, so we have the trade here still running, guys. So again, like, what Shivam said earlier, he said, these trades are running for way too long. And I agree with him. It is running way too long. So like, for example, here, I would hate to be in this position. Even though price keeps pulling back in profit, I would hate to be in the position because this trade's running for about like 5 minutes now. And it just keeps it just keeps on moving. I'm sure that's happened. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at my Bitcoin right now. Let's go back to okay, so looking at the trade here. So the trade almost hit CP right there. It's still currently running. This is the MPSV2 for a sell. And it looks like it's about to hit CP right there. I mean, this thing took a long time for it to hit though. There you go, full TP on that trade. So if you guys caught that, nice work. I didn't take the trade there, so it's not counting as an official trade. This trade took about 6 minutes for it to hit. So like I said, I'm marking up these entries for you guys, but I'm not taking them because I'm already at my loss for the day. Let's see, Barack said for me that my biggest issue that I've taken forever to grow from is managing my trades. Most of mine are green, but end up closing with lesser profits or even worse, red. It's my weakness. I'm working on it. Back to proper journaling, and for now, only trading targets, no structure stops. Yeah, no, and I agree with you too, Brock. I think that's a problem for a lot of people. You know, for a lot of people, targets are just they're just better for most people. Like for me, for example, I'd rather have targets than having trailing trades, right? If you have runners and trailing trades like that, it's just not for everybody because it's easy to get caught up in the whole, like hoping you had more. I think that's the mindset that you probably have. Like you probably are okay with targets, but then like you always think like, what if I let this trade run longer? And then what happens is it ends up, it doesn't flow well with your trade psychology. So then you end up closing early, or you end up getting stopped out early, and then you end up getting less profits when you could have like a full amount. Yeah, exactly. Brock said, I'm tired of asking myself, why didn't I take this when it was a 2R before it ended up closing at negative 2R? Yeah, exactly. So that for me, I prefer to take, a fixed target, either 1 to 1, 1 to 2, whatever it may be, even like negative in some instances. But most of the time, I try to go for at least a 1 to 1. So looks like price is now kind of reaching for these areas of liquidity now. So I don't know if you were looking at this right here, Sam, because we had the entry here. Price actually pushed down to this level of liquidity right here. That's kind of what we were looking for up here when price was pushing up. I was looking for this to push up from here and go up to that area of liquidity. I'm looking at this here now, Sam, and this over here, it looks like it could have been like a head and shoulders. There's like a shoulder, a head, and then another shoulder right there. So that there. I mean, it looks like price is actually moving out of this range though, so that's a good thing. Or it might be establishing a new range. So it might just be establishing a lower range right here. Now that I think of it. Let's see, Sam said, Sean, can you try your setup on MYM? See anything positive like win rate? It's pretty much the same thing because it's very similar. So if you go over here, I mean, MYM, it mirrors YM. So if you look over here, it's pretty much the same thing. Like the same loss that we took over there for YM, it happened right here. The win that happened over here played out. Let's see. The loss that happened, yeah, it's exactly the same thing, Sam. So if you were to put these side by side, let me see if I go to YM. I think the momentum is pretty much on the same thing too. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much like mirror image, right? So right here, we had a buy signal, same exact candle, sell signal right here. This one came a little later though. So this one came a little later, but basically same entry. This one is exactly the same. And this one over here, pretty much exactly the same too. So it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, there's gonna be like, for example, over here, there's more momentum signals, but it wouldn't matter because there was no entry on this one and there's no entry on this one. But the one that actually had the entry, this one, lined up with this one right here. So it's pretty much the same thing. MYM, it mirrors YM for the most part. Kyle said I'm gonna head out. Hope next week's market is better. Have a good weekend. Yeah, definitely, Kyle. I'll see you at the gym later. All right. 7:24. We still got like 30 minutes left in the market, guys. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Again, if you guys are feeling FOMO or you feel the need to take a trade, I would just wrap it up for the day, guys. There's no need to force any trades here. Um, I'm actually going to turn off my laptop. Not that I'm going to trade, but I'm just going to turn off my laptop because I don't have any use for it right now. I'm done trading. So I'll keep analyzing the markets and I'll keep answering questions if you guys do have questions. If nothing happens from here until like, maybe like 7:40, 7:50, I'll probably just wrap it up as well. Uh, there's just not really much here to there's not really much here to really work with because we don't have any catalysts in the market, unfortunately. Since there's no news today, we just have the Fed speaking. So the only thing that I can kind of see here that we could probably look at would be like breaking news events. For some reason, financial juice isn't up. Looks like their website's down for some reason. Oh, never mind. Let's back up. Okay. So we have the Fed juice here. Yeah, the main talk right now is really just uh, the Swiss president speaking with the US to discuss the inflation, or not inflation, the tariff news. Other than that, there's not really too much here. There's no news here really pushing price around. See, Sam said he wants to take the break and retest for a sell. Yeah, it looks like it's breaking retesting right now. It hasn't retested yet, but it actually hasn't retraced at all. And retest off the liquidity. It like barely retested right there on that most recent candle I just closed. Yeah, Sam said it didn't come. Yeah, it got close to it, but not exactly. And there we go. The price continues to drop lower. So we're having a big slump right now. I don't know exactly what's causing the slump. I'm assuming it's the tariff news. But you guys can see this type of market that we're currently in right now. It's very unpredictable. It's not very smooth. Uh, yeah, there's just not too much here. Bitcoin's starting to slump too. So I'm just looking at the crypto market right now. It's like Bitcoin and Ethereum just decided to slump more recently. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, it looks like everything is starting to dump right now. Bitcoin's dropping, YM is dropping, everything's kind of dropping right now. I'm kind of curious to see what's causing this dump in price right now. I mean, obviously something's happening. I don't think breaking news. Trump's messages are always like so interesting. Like so on this morning, Trump said China should open up its market to the USA. Would be so good for them. Closed markets don't work anymore. Yeah, I'm like kind of tempted to get the Truth app. I don't know if is the Truth app, is that free? Let me see. Truth Social. I'm gonna look it up just to see what Trump says because he's not on Twitter anymore. Voice your freedom. Yeah, I don't know if anybody follows Trump's app, but it's the Truth Social app. This is where he posts all of his stuff, like all of his like outlandish stuff. Doesn't really post on Instagram or Facebook as much, but I'll take a look at it later. But I mean, yeah, the YM is currently dropping. Bitcoin is also dropping. I don't know what's causing the drop right now. There's not really any news that's out, or at least nothing that we know of. So there was breaking news, or sort of breaking news. It says Swiss President Keller Sutter pause on tariff not to be lifted during negotiations. I mean, that's the only really big breaking news right now. It's just saying that the tariffs are not going to be lifted during negotiations. Right. So basically, if you're looking for an entry here, guys, you're looking for a buy signal to come up. Once that buy signal comes up, you can look for either a reversal to the upside or you can look for a retracement and continuation back down. One or the other. And I was really hoping Bitcoin would just push up a little higher. I was honestly looking to offload my position, my entire position. Bitcoin around like 104 or 105. Yeah, Sam said, I hate the fact that the only MPSV2 loss was the one that I took. I know, right? That's literally the only one. Everything else has been hitting for the most part. Um, and the one I was taking was like the cleanest entry too. But it happens, I understand that that's just part of the game. It was like the cleanest one with like the best confluences. Everything was pointing towards a buy, everything lined up. Sam said, I know it's so weird. Is someone watching you? We always think about that, if that might be the case. Hopefully not, but yeah, it's crazy. Feels like I got sniped out of that position basically. But it's okay. I've basically my trading plan is structured in a way where I can eat these types of losses and then I just end up making them back the following week. So it's all good. Not upset about it. It's just part of the game. Let's see. Sam said maybe taking entries 10 minutes after market open is much safer. I mean, we've been doing that, but every other entry that was coming up earlier this week and last, like pretty much for the whole month, has been hitting. So I was a little more inclined to take the entries earlier on the session. Usually we don't take the entries that early in the session. We wait for the market to kind of stabilize a little bit. The thing with the market today was that it wasn't really moving too crazy. That's why I was a little more okay with taking a trade earlier. So market opened up right here at 6:30. Just why I take that off. Oh, it's I forgot to color it blue. Or no, I have it on there. Anyways, yeah, opening price was right here at 6:30, and there wasn't like those crazy candles, right? Like usually on open we have like those big candles that kind of just spike up. Like these candles were like normal. They were like 30 points, 40 points, etc. And it just looked like it was moving pretty smoothly and it was gonna finally break out to the upside right there. But yeah, for whatever reason, it ended up coming right back down. But yeah, for the most part, we usually don't take trades that early in the morning. If you guys have seen, I usually wait for the market to stabilize a little bit. It looked like today the market was not really going to move much. Uh, it was kind of flat for a bit and then it ended up picking up. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's just unfortunate that like the days that I actually do plan on taking certain entries, it ends up being a little choppier than usual. And I'm still looking at the Bitcoin stuff. I'm trying to like, so I'm already up like I think 15% on the Bitcoin. So I was like tempted to pull out of it. I wanted to go a little higher, but it just slumped right now. Same with the YM right here. Price is still dumping right now, guys. It is still dumping. So it looks like price is dropping a little further down to the next level of liquidity there. Yeah, price is still dumping. We haven't gotten a buy signal yet, so there's no entries. There's really no entry setting up yet. There's pending buy signals here, but it just never ended up closing. So basically, what you're looking for here is you're looking for a buy signal to come up, either reverse to the upside and then take the buys there, or you're looking for price to retrace up from here and then come back down lower. But we just don't have anything here yet. This lower level of liquidity is lined up with a session right there. So you might get the bounce at this point. Might get priced down to this session and then a swing back up. Ross said the Fed guys all hate Trump and won't get with the program. They said they will never lower rates for Trump. By the way, they lowered for Biden every time. Yeah, exactly. So that's probably why the market here is dumping, guys, because there's the Fed speakers are speaking today and they're probably saying a lot of bad things, but we just don't have any access to like their meeting minutes. The meeting minutes come out next week. So if you look over here, I mean, literally today it's all the Fed speakers speaking. Fed Williams, Fed Barr, Fed Kugler, Fed Goolsbee, Fed Williams, Fed Waller, and then Fed Hammock later, Fed Musliam, and then Fed Cook. So the whole Fed, basically all the top Fed speakers are speaking today, and they don't get along with Trump. So they're probably knocking, like, that's probably why the market is dumping right now, because they keep having bad things to say, but we just don't have access to like what they're saying. The minutes don't come out until next week. So next week on what day is it? Yeah, so like next Thursday, Powell's gonna speak. Usually the FOMC minutes come out. I mean they're not coming out today. But yeah, I mean today's just an unusual day of news. Like usually there's something going on Friday. Like there's like at least one news event that's a catalyst for the market, but there's nothing today. It's just Fed speakers all day today. And that probably explains why price here just keeps dropping lower and lower. There's nothing else here that's causing price to drop. I mean, if you look at the news here, there's nothing, unless there's anything breaking here that comes out. But I feel like people don't have faith in like Trump's negotiations because he's supposed to negotiate with China, and I don't think people have any they're expecting very much from him. So yeah, the US and China are set for icebreaker trade talks. Here's what to expect. Um, although analysts say a comprehensive deal is unlikely to come out of a single meeting, they're hopeful that a partial rollback of the sky-high tariffs will be on the table, which I highly doubt. I feel like they're going to go to China. They're going to have the negotiations with China, and it's just nothing's going to happen. So that's another thing. I think that's probably why the market here is kind of coming down. Like for one, the Fed speakers are talking about no interest rate cuts probably for the next month or two. And then on top of that, um, the tariff news for this weekend is probably not going to be good. So I think this is a lot of speculation for price to keep dropping lower. Let's see, Sam said, I'm having a break and retest sell FOMO Pro. I should stop trading. Yeah, I mean, this isn't really a good market to be trading in because the thing is price has been dumping and it looks like price will probably dump further, but it's obviously a bit tricky. So we have price over here, price broken close below the liquidity. Sam's looking for a possible retest of this and continue down lower. I mean, I don't see it as a bad thing, but so it actually retested this liquidity zone right here already, Sam. So it retested right there. I mean, it didn't retest the liquidity price, but this zone right here that I have, this liquidity zone, it did retest it already. Broke below, retest, then it attempted to come back down further from there. All right, it's 7:42, guys. If there's any other trade that you guys are looking for, if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to hop in the chat. I think it's getting closer to that point where it's probably best to just call it a week. I mean, especially if you're starting to get FOMO. If you're getting FOMO or you're feeling like if you don't see a clean entry, but you really want to take an entry, I think that's probably like the biggest contributing factor to like, okay, it's time to like maybe not take a trade and just wrap it up. I mean, I'll keep looking, but just don't see anything here. All right, we finally got the buy signal there. All right, we got the buy signal right here. We have a possible MPSV2 pushing to the upside. This is your break and retest right there, Sam. Did not take it. Okay, same. Yeah, so Sam decided not to take it. This is a possible MPSV2 setting up right here, guys. So we have a buy signal, retracement. If this candle closes above this black line right here, this is an MPSV2 for a buy. If anybody's looking to take that there. Yeah, I saw that, Sam. It hit 30. All right, so here goes the MPSV2 running in profit. Not in this position here, just following it. This price kind of moves along. The ATR is currently at 30 right now. Let's take a look at the confluences here. No confluences here on the 1-minute market profile. No confluences here on the 30-minute. No confluences here on the 1 hour. No confluences here on the market profile, on the volume profile. Price is like super far down. No confluences here on the clean chart. And possible confluence for break and retest right here on the support and resistance. So there's just one confluence there, really. It's moving really slow. I think this will probably be the last entry for the day, guys, if anybody took it or decided to take it. Follow for you guys. And this is another reason why I decided not to take the trade. So there's no confluences there, guys. I'm gonna take this off. I don't want you guys to think I'm in the position. Like I said earlier, there's just no confluences there, so it wasn't a good entry. There's nothing on the 1-minute market profile, nothing on the 30-minute, nothing on the 1 hour, nothing on the volume profile, nothing on the clean chart, and there's just one confluence here on the support resistance. It wasn't a good one or a clean one, but it was a confluence. So again, this wouldn't meet my criteria for entry here. But all right, guys, I think that might be it. If there's any question that you guys have, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Bit of a bloody week, so you guys can see, I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. I had 3 losses for this week and 1 win. So unfortunately, I did have a losing week. It's a red week for me. I haven't had a red week in a while, so it's all good. It's like part of the game. And my overall stats right here are still pretty good. So I just need to get myself out of this slump. I always end up getting myself out of the slump. So it's just got to be a matter of time and patience for me to get back out of here. Because I'm pushing up right here, pulled back a little bit, and I'm looking for this to maybe push back up hopefully next week as we kick off a new trading week. So, all right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to to hit me up. Otherwise, I think that's about it. So I'll be back here about 4 o'clock. If you guys want to sit in on, I know yesterday I had a session with Jarrell, but we had to get that moved to today. So if you guys want to sit in on that, I'm going to be showing Jarrell how to set up his copier and stuff like that at 4 o'clock. If not, I'll probably see you guys back here on Monday. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here on Monday for market open.